Harry, given the nature of the defeat last week, the sheer amount of frustration that you had after the full-time whistle, understandably, I wonder how the mood's been in the camp this week.
To be fair, it's been good. Look, we all don't like losing, first and foremost. We're professional people and we take our job serious. And that's not just me and my staff, but that's the players, the fans, everyone associated to the club. Hurt. We all hurt in different ways. And, you know, sometimes players do need to kick up the backside. There's a right way to say it and a wrong way to say it. And for me, I feel the way my players have reacted, have accepted the challenges that I've thrown down because of the position they were in when I first came, I take my hat off to them. And I think it's excellent how they work and are willing to work and willing to take on the ideas and to put themselves in positions that they're not comfortable with but are getting better at. I'm happy. And like I said, the atmosphere, the way the training's been, it's been top class. In fact, it's actually getting better and better each time. And there's certain drills I do which I do on a constant level, and that's how I realise if things are getting better. And they are getting better. And like I said, for me, the result last week, yeah, it's disappointing. But again, we're creating the chances, 20 chances. And if you look at a situation and you go, you're going to have 20 chances. Okay, look, the keeper played, he's done some great saves. The opposition have hit one on target and they score an own goal. Look, that happens in football. But let's face it, you are going to win more games than you lose if you're creating these chances.
Do you feel like you hate to lose more than most people, maybe more than most of your players?
I don't even let my kids win. That's how much I like to win. You know, I think it's important for people to learn how to lose and to lose properly. And I'm learning over my whole career, you know, the disappointing. Because even when I was younger, I used to get upset when I lost. But again, you have to learn by your mistakes. And then if you can learn by your mistakes and get better, that's only going to help you. So again, I'm a winner. And I want my team to be winners. And I want it to feel hurt, you know, because we shouldn't accept losing. You know, if you give everything, and I feel my players did give everything, it was just a couple of moments of lapse, which cost us. And I feel if we can continue that, I think we're heading in the right direction.
So even when your kid's 3,
yep,
and you were playing, say, I don't know, football
Uno,
in the garden,
Uno, snap, no problem. Look, don't get me wrong. They will win in times, but they've also got to learn to lose. You've got to know how to lose. You've also got to know how to, like, be not a happy loser, but you know, you got to know how to take losing, because you know it's something that's very hard to take.
So do you sulk when your kids beat you at Snap and Uno and whatnot?
They don't beat me. Did you just hear?
Fair enough. We last spoke maybe a week ago about trying to keep people happy in your squad and the difficulties or maybe the impossibilities of having to do that. Have you had to kind of take, because you've got such a big squad, some of those perhaps unhappy players out of the first team training environment and move them to one side? It's called a bomb squad, but I wonder if, because you've got such a big squad, do you now have a bomb squad?
Call it whatever you like. Unfortunately, there's only so many people you can put in your squad on a match day, and there's no difference to the top clubs. Even in the European games, there's only a certain amount of players you can actually have, and some players can't. Who are great players are not in the European squad. It's tough to take, but the manager has to make a decision, and it's nothing personal. Like I said, all these players are working hard and they're trying to impress me, and the ones that are at the moment not in the squad and have to train at other times, the only way to work back in there is when you get your moment in training or in games is to keep working hard. And then hopefully if you do that, and then when you do get the opportunity to take it, and then put thoughts into my head.
So are there some of your senior players right now training with the youth team, or at least not with the senior squad?
No, everyone trains together. There's the only day that I don't train together is a Friday, because it's, you know, to have 25, 26 players, it's difficult. But usually on my training days, everyone trains together.
Looking ahead to this weekend, Port Vale, How much pressure is on that game now for you?
Well, again, when people say pressure, I don't mind pressure. In fact, I love it. I don't see me going there and thinking, oh my God, this is it. If it's it, it's it. You know, for me, I love what I do, and I'm going to go play the way that I want to do, and I feel my team's ready to do that. Again, we just need that little bit of luck as well, because you can only control what you can control.
Pope is a man that has been knocking about the lower leagues for a long time, and he's started this season quite well. What do you make of him?
Fantastic player. He's been a thorn in my side for the times I've played against him. He's a very smart striker, knows how to peel off, knows how to put himself into dangerous positions. Vale play to their strengths, which is him. So they know that every opportunity they will look to put crosses into the box, and Pope can handle two centre halves. He's that good. So we have to be at our best to stop crosses. We have to be at our best to stop Pope.
Have you started to identify areas of your playing staff that need to improve then? Because we mentioned January on Saturday night. Are there areas of your playing staff you look at now and go, I need one of them, and I need one of them, and you're not doing it, and you're not doing it, and maybe need to move on?
No, I don't think so. I think everyone here is still willing to learn, and everyone here is learning and getting better. Like I said, it's still the honeymoon kind of period where they're still learning my ideas and what I want to do, and it takes time. It takes time for them to understand exactly what I ask for, the work rate, the aggression, the way I want people to receive the ball, how to receive the ball. These are all the things that we're working on, and it's slowly coming through.
You're a married man. How does this honeymoon compare to other honeymoons that you've been on in your past?
Look, it's one of those where in football, you work all week for the result, and the club works hard to make all the players feel comfortable enough so they can concentrate on their roles. And when you put performances like we have done, let's put aside the Berry one, but you look at the other performances, we've done well. You know, I came here when we were bottom. We've come out. We're not in the relegation at the moment. We are just sitting outside of it, so we're not getting carried away. But the performances of what I've seen against, ideally, the best team in League 2, MK Dons, and the way that they've got a manager that has great experience. We played them off the park. They had no idea how to play against us. But again, that little bit of luck, the decision went against us, and that kind of changed the game. And then again, when we played, again, another manager that's been at the highest level, that's come here, and we worked how we wanted to play and created the chances. But again, you know, you have to put your chances away, because you know in any game of football, it doesn't matter what level, 1-0 is always a dangerous score. And you even take it the highest level, great teams can dominate. If you don't score against a lesser team, that lesser team will go, in the last 5 minutes we can really push for this and anything can happen. So again, we've got to be able to be switched on for the whole time.
Just finally, after the games last weekend, there was an awful tragedy just down the road from here at Leicester, and when these things happen, it tends to bring football together. Of course, talking about the death of Convershai, the chairman of Leicester City. I know there's going to be some sort of tribute tomorrow from your players before the game, minute silences and things like that as well. Does it touch you? Does it touch your players when you see something like that?
It's terrible news. I mean, we read about it and we listen about it, and we feel their pain, and you want to do more. You don't know what you can do, so you can only show your support and hope at this difficult moment that his family are together, and knowing that they have support not only from Leicester but around the country, and if not the world, because everyone's hurting at this moment, because we all know what a wonderful person he was and what he'd done for Leicester. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his families.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Harry, what was your message to the players this week, given that they played so well for 60 minutes against Swindon? Did you have to pick them up a little bit on Monday morning? Or?
No, I spoke to all my players on that night. I rang them and I spoke to them, and again, they're all positive. They all know we're hurting, but we must understand that to get out of this situation, we have to be switched on, and we have to be switched on for 90, 93, 94 minutes. And we can't allow teams to always feel they have a chance against us when we play so well for so long. And we know that's going to happen again. You know, I have a style of what I want to do, and if people want to challenge that, great. You know, I'm always willing to put my ideas out there and people to challenge it. But I'll expect my players to take up that challenge and to go out there, and again, they will make mistakes. But you've got to learn by your mistakes, and that's the only way you're going to get better.
I mean, you obviously talk about your style. I mean, do you sense on the training ground that you're almost there? I mean, for 60 minutes against Swindon, very good. MK Dons pretty much throughout that game, you were very good. Do you almost sense you're almost there?
Sensing you're almost there is not the same as, you know, winning. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, when you do have chances in games, you have to put them away. And I will always say to my players, I will put you in positions. I'll always put my strikers in positions where they'll have the opportunity. Unfortunately, I can't actually finish the shot, or I can't get other players to it. So once they're in that position, they've got to take that control and they've got to be able to hit it. But again, we're not far. I mean, you look at a couple of the chances we had, and like I said, I felt the keeper from Swindon was excellent. He put us a couple of great saves, and again, a couple of them go in, especially in the first 5 minutes. We're 3-0 up. That changes the whole game completely. But again, we're not sitting here worried about these kind of things. We're creating the chances. And as long as you create the chances, then they'll come. If we're sitting here on the other way around going, well, we only had one chance and we scored one goal, then we had nothing else, I'd be worried. I'd be worried.
Because you sense by watching the amount of chances that the team's created, someone's going to get a real good hiding soon when it all clicks together.
Look, people say that all the time, and I think people are always looking to say, oh, who's that team you're going to hide? They said it last year when I was at Crawley. We never really hit, you know, we never really gave anyone a hiding. You know, we always created the chances, and we always seem to come up against the keepers that play blinders, you know, so, or that one defender that, you know, everyone goes, oh, no, he plays a blinder. But for me, we'll continue playing our way and the way that we want to do it. And like I said, we know Port Vale is going to be a very difficult game. They've been unbeaten for the last few games. They've come off a great win against Bury. I watched the game. We know the dangers of what they can produce, and we know how to stop them. And then the rest is how we go about our game.
Sam Osborne this week signed a professional contract. Gives you thoughts on him, and what's it been like to work with since you've come into the football club?
Yeah, fantastic. For the first time I saw Sam, it was in one of the reserve games. My first impression is when a player gets the ball and he decides to run at a defender. It's always exciting, you know, because that means he's not afraid. And he's done that a few times, and I've put him into my training sessions, and I've started him and been on the bench. It's just been unfortunate. He's just picked up a little injury, but he's back now. So again, he's just got to keep working hard now, take this positive moment in his career and really take it now and try to force his way into the team, because we all know Nottingham produces great young players, and great young players are always nice to have in your squad.
It's good for the football club as well to see a local boy doing so well, and obviously
of
get
course.
the chance to represent his hometown club.
Of course, and he knows I'm here. He knows when I'm here. I mean, he plays in the role that I played, so there's no reason why he can't come up, and he won't be shy in asking, and if he's not shy, then that's great, and then I'll be able to help him even further.
Ramey Campbell and Pierce Bird went out on loan to Grantham this week. Looks a good move for them, doesn't it, to get some games under for that?
Well, I think it's important, because there's only so much training you can do, and you can be the best trainer, but come a match you need match fitness. So it's a good learning experience for both of these players to go out and get the games. They'll still be with us training, so I'll still be able to keep an eye on them, but also knowing that they're getting 90 minutes will be a bonus as well.
Yeah, in a tough league as well. I mean, that is hard.
Every league's tough.
Yeah.
Every game's tough. There's no, you tell me one easy league.
My father's side Sunday league team.
Look, I'm sure that there's still tough moments in there.
I'll play against under 10s, mate. So
well then, fair enough then.
No, but it'd be good for them, because it is a hard, demanding league, physical.
Of course, but it only gets harder the higher you go up. And this is an opportunity for them to get minutes, and to, again, for people to start talking about them, and then we can see, and then when they come back in here, they know that they're match fit. They know that they're ready. So if I do give them that opportunity, they're ready.
What message have you given them going out on loan? What do you want to see from them while they're out there?
Work hard. Work hard. You don't need to, Campbell doesn't need to beat 10 people and put the ball in the top corner. What he needs to do is hold the ball up, lay it off, get in the box, score strikers' goals. And what does Bird need to do? He needs to defend. Learn how to defend. Learn how to handle big guys, learn how to win his headers, and learn how to tackle.
Brilliant. Lovely, mate. Thank you.
Yep.
Harry, just to touch on how the players responded to your words of the weekend, has it been what you've expected? Have they really given their all this week?
They have. Look, again, from the start of when I've come here, they've always given me. Like I said, I like to make training interesting. I like to test players. I like to work not only on their fitness but on their mind as well. So again, I feel that they're ready. I put them through their paces. There's no question about that. They worked hard, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, I'll see today when we train, and once we do that, I'll know how the actual feel of the game will be.
And what kind of things have you been working on training? Has it been any different on the back of that result?
Of course, there's always things you can work on, and there's always things I look at in games on how I want to improve my players and guide them in a way, and to give them options. Because I think as a player, with me, when I played, I always wanted to have options. There's no point in you just turning and say, Harry, you're 1v1, deal with him. Okay, well, what happens if I lose that duel? Very rarely I did though. But if I did, you need to be able to have options. And what you want to try and create is to have options from the back to the midfielders to up front. Yes, the options become different and less more. So for example, the backs may have 5 options, midfielders 4, goes to 3. So again, at least a striker will know what options he has, and these players should be in these areas.
And you touched on try and make training as interesting as possible. How do you achieve that?
Quite easy, putting them in game situations, game-related situations, and be able to give them an idea of the movements which they will come across during games.
And we just mentioned, of course, Sam Osborne's signed his professional contract. How much is he in your thinking at the moment, and what more would you like to see from him?
Again, he's just come back from an injury, which is good. So again, it's not that he has to start again, but again, it's just getting him back up to match fitness, getting him a couple of games. But like I said, he's just got to keep working on little things, and I'll give him little drills to keep practicing and getting him into positions where, again, when he comes across in games, he feels comfortable. He goes, well, I know this situation, I've practiced it, and I know how to get out of it.
How much can he learn from the wingers that you already have here, such as Vale?
Well, again, if you can't learn from Enzio, if you can't learn from Nathan Thomas, if you can't learn from Louis or Kane, or even Steady, or even myself, then he's got a problem. Because there's players there that can attack, that know, and he's just got to be brave enough to come and ask questions, and I'm sure these players will help them.
And is that something you've seen from him, that he does come and ask? He does have the confidence to do that?
Well, again, haven't seen it yet, because I think he's still trying to just blend himself into the team. But again, you can't be shy in football, and there's no wrong answers. You have to be brave enough to ask the right question, but not stupid ones. As long as you ask the right ones, you'll be fine.
What would be a stupid question?
I don't know. It's just something stupid. Teach me how to run like Messi. That'd be a stupid question. You know what I mean? Because he's got to take into the fact that he's Sam Osborne. He's got to take into the fact that he's got to work on what he's good at, not on what other people are good at. So again, even what Enzio is great at, Sam is different. So he's just got to work on what he's good at, not what anyone else is good at.
And so far, what have you seen that he is good at, that he does excel?
Again, what I like is when someone, especially in a wide player, gets the ball and they're not afraid to drive. Then you know that they don't have that fear. When you get a wide player that receives the ball and passes the ball back and then runs, you're thinking to yourself, is he really a wide player for me? For me, he may be a wide player for someone else, but for me, I want to see my wide player wanting to attack.
And we touched on it briefly about Port Vale away. What kind of game are you expecting?
Again, I've already played Port Vale, especially with my old club, and we know what they'll bring. We know they'll make it very difficult. They play a very direct game. They will look to get crosses into the box for Pope, and Miller will be just looking to run channels and pick up and be a nuisance. They'll be very aggressive, and they'll be looking on the set plays as well.
So is that key to then stop the crosses coming in? Is that one of the key things you're focusing on?
Look, I think in every game you look to stop crosses coming into box, so there's really no difference in that department. But again, it's just something that they're very good at, because again they have a striker that knows how to manoeuvre within the box and make defenders scared, because 1 minute he's there, next minute he's not. So again, we've got to be careful of that.
Is that something that you've seen improve since your time with the crosses have stopped coming in box so much? Because that was very much the downfall in the beginning.
Well, again, we're still working on that. We're still allowing 1 or 2 crosses to come in, and unfortunately sometimes you have to allow it, so you have to be in the right places to defend. But again, I always say sometimes you can't defend a great cross. I said, how do you defend a great cross? And you can't. So you can defend the bad ones, but if a winger puts in that cross, that's the perfect cross where a keeper's in 2 minds, a centre half can't get there, and the striker's in the right position, sometimes you just got to hold your hand up.
And earlier this week, John says that he thinks the game will be a battle and that the result's going to be critical. Would you agree with that?
Of course, every game's a battle. We know it is, and especially for him up there, because he leads the line and he knows every game he goes into is going to be tough. But again, if we approach it the same way that we have been, especially over the last 2 with our attitude and our hard work, then, you know, hopefully we can get something.